all the time, then I would say it's a chronic masturbation problem, quite frankly. So
we're live.
It went. Did you see that? Did you see how I nicely remembered to turn that on? Just as it was good, music was running out, I went, oh, fuck. Put that on. Oh, right, let's go up to the chat and everything. Let's put that on so we can see everybody.
Hi, Noreen.
Hi, Noreen. Hi, everybody. Well, how the very devil are you? We have not been on for a couple of weeks because we have just had trouble after trouble, knackered. I've been doing a course and exams and God knows what else. Wayne's been dyeing his hair and doing his best Eminem impersonation, and I'm just jealous because he's got hair and I don't. And you've been busy as well. You've had problems with Freddie deciding to do stuff, and and all sorts of things. But now my courses are all finished for the moment. I've got 6 qualifications now, level 2s and level 3s, and in mental health. Mental health, that's what I was finishing off today. Yeah, mental health, understanding mental health, and I think it was mental health first aid or something. I can't remember. And I got my doorman's badge as well. So, yeah. He's not down, he's not coming in. So, yeah, been busy. What have you been up to?
Yeah, too much.
Huh?
Too much. Had a laugh yesterday. I went over to Mersey Island, met up with our friend Midlife Crisis 101X from TikTok, who likes to go over and record epic fails. People go across the Strood when the tide's up and flood their engines.
Like the Dark Mirror radio show.
And it was quite a laugh because I waded in and I weren't wearing wellies and the water was freezing cold, but loved every minute of it. And as a result, we ended up with almost 27,000 views on TikTok within the last 24 hours. So that was
NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. You can advertise on here so long as you share us on your network, because if you don't, it'll all get taken off.
Yes, please.
Fair enough, isn't it? Hello from Texas. Hi, mate. You're welcome to join us.
So yeah, I was doing that and been trying to sort out all the final arrangements for the exclusive event next weekend, which yourself and your dearly beloved is joining us with.
Yes, we will see that.
So it's going to be pretty cool. So we've been finalising that, been talking, because Midlife Crisis 101 X on TikTok has been the one that's sort of helped put this together. So we're going to be meeting up with him, and he's vowed that he is not going down into the cellars. He doesn't like the basement down there because it's where the cells were, and it's apparently there's something on the stairs that he doesn't like, so he's chickening out. But we've got some really good experiments we're going to do.
Do you know what I'm hoping for? Is like, my other half, as you all know, Rachel, long-suffering other half, who's done. She's an amazing woman. The things she's done for me, you wouldn't believe. But I'd like her to come along and actually witness something, see something, maybe feel something. Because she's like me. I've been to so many events and I'm very skeptical. You know, I know there's life after death. I run a team. I've seen lots of things and heard lots of things, but when I've been to somebody else's event, it's very, very rare. Like Wayne will tell you, when we go to other people's things, it's very rare that anything will happen. The only thing you'll probably catch is cold. But you know, it would be nice to for Rachel and other people to see something there. And I know this location is very haunted, and I'm going there to help out. Rachel's going there, coming along, and doesn't know what on earth she's letting herself in for. So.
No, but luckily, you know how to guide a team around an investigation. So on the night, Rachel will be tagging with you, and just be basically helping assist you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've got the pleasure of hosting the night, so I'll be flitting in between all three teams and helping Sam do some filming. So I'll be diving about all over the place.
Is Sam going to be there?
Sorry?
Is Sam going to be there?
Yes, there will be myself.
Oh
Ellen.
my God! No one's going to get a word in edgeways. Not even a ghost. No one will be up.
There'll be myself, Ellen, Sam, Marcus, and teammates Chloe and Mick as well. So
okay, awesome.
We got a nice 8-member team, so it's going to be pretty good.
This TikTok guy needs to like the Dark Mirror radio show.
I will. I have mentioned the Dark Mirror a couple of times, but he doesn't do Facebook that much. He's mainly TikTok. So
we're on TikTok too.
Sorry.
We're on TikTok.
Yes, but you don't post much on TikTok
because I still don't know how to connect the TikTok to this. You can do it, but I try and follow it, and then
You can, but I don't bother doing that. I mean, I use mine and put some of my stuff from TikTok onto Facebook. I just share the video onto Facebook.
No, I mean, when we go live, it'd be nice to put on TikTok so it goes out live on TikTok as well.
Yeah, I think you can do that, but I mean, I don't. When I did a live at Christmas Eve, I had my phone on Facebook. No, my phone was on TikTok and my iPad was on Facebook.
Oh, okay, that's one way to do it.
I just use 2 separate devices. But I think you can do it.
I'll have a look in the week, see if I can do it. Oh, and of course, Rachel's not watching at the moment, and I doubt if she'll get the chance to watch this before she goes back to work, which won't be for 2 weeks because she's on holiday. It's her birthday on Thursday. Is there any chance we can? You lot out there watching this, don't tell her. Is there any chance we can do something on Saturday?
I'll get a cake.
Okay, I won't be able to, but do you want me to send you some pennies to get a cake? Right, okay, thank you. Yeah, that'll be really awesome because she'll be like,
anything like red velvet?
Yeah, fine, absolutely fine.
Chocolate, carrot cake.
She loves carrot cake.
I'll get a couple of carrot cakes.
Okay, right. Thank you. That'd be really cool. I think she'll like that. She'll kill me, especially.
But I will. We'll stay on after the show's finished, and I'll talk about that because we're going to sort out a few things. So
okay,
we'll stay on here after the live's finished, and I'll tell you some few things that we've got to do. So
okay,
but yeah, it's been sorting all that out and arranging more events. So it's been pretty hectic, and then obviously with Freddie being Freddie. Last week we had 5 appointments, one each day, for various members of the family. Myself, I had the dentist last week, and Ellen had the dentist, and Freddie had pediatricians, and it's been non-stop.
Yeah.
Frozen. You're frozen. Hey, Madonna. Mark, you have frozen. Come in, Mark. Mark, come in. This is. Oh no, I'm being kicked out as well. Oh, I'm back. Hello, I'm back.
Are you still there?
And you're back.
Hang on.
Yeah. Well, it's come up on my screen. It comes up on my screen that we're still live.
Don't know what.
Any viewers still there? I think there's still 3 viewers watching. Can you see and hear us? Okay. It's probably Streamlabs Network.
We've just gone off. Hang on.
Oh, it's gone up to 4 now, so someone must still be watching.
Yeah, we are. We've just come back on. Oh, thank God for that.
It's probably the stream names have probably got issues.
I was that side. No, I wasn't. I was that side.
Who swapped over? So,
Okay.
yeah. Maureen says yes, so that's all right. But yeah, there's been a lot of things going on. Freddie deciding to hurt himself. He's got to the stage where he wants to be a stuntman. So
Yeah.
it's very silly of him.
I think we all went through that at some point, some stage.
Yeah.
We'll do.
But we're getting somewhere with him now with the school. So and his autism. So things are looking up.
Okay.
Which will be nice.
Nice to hear. We get some help and stuff. But yeah, last course I was learning all about mental health and things, and I found it really useful because I could understand my eldest daughter more. I could understand my other anxieties more, and I understood me a lot more because it's when all these things came up and then these bits and bobs came up, I was like, oh shit, and it resonated, and it was helpful to know the triggers and responses and how to deal with it. And I did the emergency mental health and stuff as well, so that was good. But Dorman badge.
Doing stuff like that is amazing for for understanding all of that stuff. Because I went through it with Ethan and Freddie having autism. Ethan with high functioning, Freddie with ADHD. And when I did the Understanding Autism Level 2 MVQ, it answered so many questions.
Didn't it?
And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, that is so true. That is so accurate. That is Freddie, or that is Ethan. And then it went, the level 2 went on to, it was covering all the stuff like the legal side of things.
Yeah.
And no sooner had I passed the course that I needed to use that knowledge straight away with Ethan's school.
Capacity and all this and the other.
It was just awesome because I just able to steam in there and go, excuse me, by law, you're not supposed to be doing that. And all of a sudden it was complete U-turn, and now they've bent over backwards to make sure Ethan's okay. And it's probably because not a lot of the other parents that have got autistic children in that school are fully aware of their rights and their children's rights in a normal standard mainstream school. And so, of course, they were like, wow, rude awakening. Wayne's on the case. We better step to this.
I can thoroughly recommend for anybody who's watching, if you're, if you've always thinking about it, have a look online, see if there's a local course or free course just in mental health awareness in your area. Take it. It completely opened my eyes. I mean, mum is a different one because it's for work and everything. But, it completely opened my eyes and was so useful and really interesting because I kept bringing up the history about, because they were saying where it's different cultures, where does this come from? Where's that come from? And maybe because of the show, I was going, oh, yeah, well, over in Africa and over in Asia and Malaysia and in all these places, they believe in demons and they think that a lot of mental health are blah, 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 blah. And they'll go, really? Because we knew the shit. And I'm like, yeah, we do this show. We do things occasionally. So, yeah. So it was good. And in regards to UFOs and UAPs and stuff like that, I tell you what I have noticed since it's come out about the Trump administration and everything changing and Elon Musk's changing and everything, it's gone dead. Even down the rabbit holes, there's a few things down the rabbit holes and there's a few things saying there is definitely something coming and to watch out for. And there's a lot of stuff saying, watch the skies. But, it was like all over the social media and stuff like that. There's only a few things coming out on.
It's starting to go through pretty quiet. And we said this the last time we were live.
Yeah.
That things, now that Trump is in, they're going to be looking at other things, and that's just going to sort of disappear into the background.
I think it's to push it away from the mainstream. Yeah,
and I mean, obviously, at the moment, it's literally gone back to the old rubbish of the Ukraine and whether America will help fund them or not, and all of this, and that's taken the headlines. That's just taken over from everything. And now all this business about disclosure is now being pushed on the back burner because that's more important.
Yeah, it's very easy. The same with any politician in the world. Doesn't matter who you are, any politician. All the shit that they come out with before they get voted in, just to get the votes, and as soon as they go in, it slipped my mind.
And also as well, there was the full release of the documentation of the assassinations of JFK.
That's right.
Etc. That'll be interesting if and when. And
if and when.
Could it be the same as what disclosure in 2017 was? The files are going to be released, but they're going to be redacted. The important information is going to be blacked out.
And it'll be the merest dribble.
Yeah.
The merest dribble. Yeah, because like I'd like to know why his brain was taken. We all know why his brain was taken because it showed the trajectory of the bullet. But I'd like to know why it was taken, where it was taken, what was done with it. And I'd like to know why, when on one video I've seen, you can clearly see the driver
got his arm over like that.
Yeah, yeah. But also,
and on that video, you see the back of his head go.
Yeah, and yeah, you do. And also, I've got another one from, in fact, a guest we've had on there who knew all about it and alleged that it was somebody on a bridge.
On a bridge.
With a high-powered telescopic rifle that took him out, and it was CIA that did it.
And they used the other guy as a pitfall.
Patsy. Yeah, he was a patsy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but all sorts of things like that. See, this is why we love the show, because like it doesn't matter if there's nothing much going on. We can talk about other stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and another thing that was brought up today, you know, there's always been the thing about the fluoride in the water and chlorine and all this, that, and the other. That was brought up today in regards to a surge in autism, and that scientists have now starting to put 1 and 1 and 2 and 2 together and say that actually all the fluoride and shit that's been put in our water for years is causing like a coating, if you like, on the hypothalamus, whatever it is, the one at the back here. And it's causing, that's the one that opens your third eye as well, whichever that gland is. I can't remember the name of it, but it's causing like a weird ass coating on it, and it's dulling everything and the surge in autism cases have come up.
The problem is when they stand there and say that it's dulling the brain down. It seems a bit of a contradiction of terms, really, because when you look at some of the best scientists in the world just so happen to be autistic.
Yeah.
So is it their way of creating the opposite effect? We know for a fact now that the government wants academics. They don't want physical.
Thank you, Noreen.
They don't want physical aspects. They want academics. They want scientists. They want mathematicians. They want people with the intelligence that will be useful on a computer rather than physical attributes like building walls and stuff like that. So, are they putting the fluoride in the water to actually help create more academics than
if they do? I think they should pack that shit in because it's not fair on other people. And also the other thing, once I remember, I think it's the US forces are going to be accepting. I think they already do, but they're going to be accepting more autistic people into the corps, but not into the fighting corps. It'll be things like Wayne just said, into the computer side of things and the intelligence corps and things like that. And I actually think that's a really, really good idea. And I think all nations and all forces should do that. Accept disabled people in. You don't have to be in the front line. I mean, bloody hell, I did a TA and I did a cadets, and teaching is my forte, so I teach. Take us in. We're not going to fall apart.
But this is the thing. They are becoming more. The traditional military is a thing of the past.
Yeah.
I think it was either the year after or 2 years after I joined the Royal Air Force. The rules changed regards to how drill instructors treated their recruits.
Oh yeah.
And that was always a big thing. We'd go out at weekends, have weekend leave, and all head to the railway station, and we'd go, "Oh, Corporal Bobbins was a right arsehole. Oh, he did this and he said that and all this, that, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, this rule came in where they weren't allowed to say things like that. They weren't allowed to call you a function nudging Nuno or, F and blind at you and all of this. And we were like, hang on a minute, but this was what created discipline. When you've got a lot of school leavers going from school, so you're in that childish environment, and you're going into an adult environment, you needed something to break that level of discipline from child to man, or woman to man, girl to man, woman even. So everything changed, and they had to be nice, and you weren't allowed to call them all these horrible, nasty words, but made you more aggressive, made you more disciplined. And if it wasn't for the Royal Air Force and the discipline we got off the Royal Air Force Regiment, we'd have been just going, yeah, okay, and we'd be walking around like the Americans march. Not being nasty to the Americans, but the Americans don't know how to march unless they're at the memorial centres. That's marching. That's proper marching. But normally it's just like a swagger. It's not like real marching. But it's just been dulled down over the years, and it's just getting worse because now they've turned around and said that the women don't have to have their hair up in buns anymore. They can have a ponytail.
That doesn't bother me either way, personally.
No, but it's a rule that they've changed, whereas you used to have it up in a bun, and it used to be had to be kept properly. And now that discipline has gone out the window, so that hair can now be free flowing. It would be interesting to see whether that person would have a ponytail if they're sitting on a firing range with a submachine gun.
They wouldn't be able to, because if that hair was too long, it'd get caught up in the mechanisms.
Exactly. So you'd have to have it put up in a bun. So why not just keep it in the bun?
My personal thing is there's absolutely nothing wrong in discipline. There's absolutely nothing wrong. So, I mean, drill instructors, you're meant to be a wanker. I know I've taught drill, and I'm normally one of the nicest instructors. But I've taught drill in the past with a bunch of complete wankers, and I fucking bawled them out. However, I do not agree with beasting. And I do not agree with a lot of the punishments. When you get put in jankers, I don't agree with a lot of the punishments that the nasty little one-stripe Lance Jack corporals give out, or the two-stripe corporals give out because they want to prove themselves to the sergeant. And it's always those little shits that give out the nasty punishments, and I don't agree with that.
I was all right. I got
the one cut off my ponytail.
But this is the thing. This will be the next step now. They'll allow men to have long hair and in ponytails because they've allowed women to have ponytails. It's going to be all this equality rubbish.
See, me, I'm old school. I don't agree with that purely because, again, there are a lot of weapons that the men can use that the women can't, and it's down to physical stature, strength, and this, that, and the other. And it's not a sexist or misogynist thing. It's a proven fact. If you're a dude and you got long hair, it's gonna get caught up in those mechanisms, and if it does, it can cause not just only damage to yourself, it can cause damage to the people around you, and it can also cause misfires, backfires, and worse. So I don't agree with that.
You end up getting scalped.
Well, there's not just that. If you're using a mortar, if you're using a short fuse mortar and your air gets caught in it, what's it going to do? You will get scalped, but it can also cause a premature
detonation.
So yeah, getting your hair caught, if you get your hair caught around the shell, you don't really want that. So yeah, but I understand it, I get it. But as I say, I don't think there's anything wrong in discipline in the forces. You need it, you have to have it. But I don't agree with beastings and Lance Jacks and corporals just being little twats for the sake of being little twats.
I think you get that regardless because that's the power that they've been given.
Yeah. And some of them, they just get drunk with it, goes to their head.
I mean, I ended up on jankers once. I had an earache, and we went, and this was back in recruit training.
Yeah,
I had a really bad earache, and I had to go to the med centre, and they said, "Right, you need to come back." I think they said 2:15, but I thought they said 2:15. And I got back at 10. I got back to the barrack block at 10:02, and everybody had gone. So I hightailed it across the unit to the training offices and caught up with them all. And I got put on. I got put on Jankers for being absent without leave, even though I'd already registered that morning with the med centre to say I'd got an earache, and they didn't want to hear it, so they just charged me for being absent without leave, and I had to do five. I think it was 5 hours Jankers in the med centre, so I had to go around clearing all the beds.
It's normally KP they put you on, which is fucking horrible, and you come out smelling like fucking Stilton or beef nail or something. Yeah.
I ended up adding another 2. I ended up adding another 2 hours because I was in a hurry to have a kit inspection, an inspection of my number 1 uniform, and I put my shoes on, just tucked my laces in. Thought they wouldn't notice, only they did notice. So I got another 2 days.
Shit, that's the only thing. I mean, I understand. Like I say, I get the discipline and this that, and the other. And as I can tell you guys watching, when I've done my courses for myself to get my qualifications and my stripes, I got picked on, I got ridiculed, I got screamed at, I got told we don't want your fucking sort in here and this that, and the other. I had a captain. I won't mention their name, but I had a captain tell me that we don't want your fucking sort in here and this that, and the other. And I bloody well proved them all wrong, you know. And it was that accomplishment when afterwards, because when you get your SI or you get your little crown, you can turn around and say you're a fucking wanker, sir, as long as you do that. And I had the very, very great pleasure of doing that to this officer.
Lovely.
My nipples go hard. It was such a good feeling. So yeah, but and I've got more courses coming up with that now. I've got to go and do my yearly my firearms proficiency test. I've got to do all that and stuff. So that's, in fact, I've got to do that. Dates. Not this weekend, next weekend. So yeah.
Is that turrets?
Huh?
Turrets.
Turrets?
Yeah, we called it turrets.
What's your version of turrets?
That was firearms.
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you know my worst bit?
Disassembly, cleaning, reassembly, and firing range.
Yeah. Now all we've got to do, because it's indoors, all we've got to do is strip it, clean it, put it back together, fire off the empty shot, and demonstrate that we know how to teach people how to fit the fucking sling and everything like that. That's my bugbear, is that bloody sling.
I think for me, doing the turrets, the worst part was once you'd reassembled it, the regiment corporals got us to hold. Then we were using SLRs, not SAEs. Mm. We had to hold the SLRs by the muzzle, and we had to hold it straight arm out in front of us, all in a row, and the corporal would come along. We'd have to cock it first, cock the rifle first, hold it out by the arm, and the corporal would then come along and pull the trigger, and he would know by ear that whether that was firing properly.
Yeah.
If the firing mechanism wasn't working properly, he knew, and you'd have to stand there until he got to the end of the line, and then he would allow you to disassemble it again, and then reassemble, and then you had to do the same thing again. But if you failed it the second time round, you then got reflighted back to week 1. So you had to do all of that lead up to that turrets test again. And that was a killer, because we're all standing there going, "Oh my God, he's not looking, he's looking. Look, he's looking.
We just put arms, but after a while, you're going like that, and they deliberately take the time, and then they'll go,
"Yep,
release," and they do the release, and same thing. You hear them going like that.
Make sure that's the one that works. Sorry.
So anyway,
that might be the dud.
UFOs and shit, isn't it? Isn't it, blood? Isn't it? Do you remember when I said that we said on there, what was it, 6 weeks ago, that you watched the drone issue with and died because that was done as a smoke stream?
What drone issue? I don't remember there being a drone issue.
Exactly. And sure enough, it went, died. No one's talking about it. You know?
Yep.
And if you look carefully down certain rabbit holes online, you'll find a mission log and the with no squawk numbers, and you will also see the chatter between 2 pilots of 2 of these drones that were shot up by a US Navy ship and downed. they managed to.
And there has been more and more evidence turning up that the drones that were used were man-made.
I've seen a video on a rooftop in New York, and it shows one of these fucking drones, and it literally looks like it's made out of scaffold poles. And you can see an engine on the back. You can see something sat in the middle, and it's got loads of flashing lights attached all over it. But it's man-made. You can see it's man-made.
I mean, the thing is, when you look at it, if you look at all these, like for example, a drone show, and we've seen them in China when they've used thousands of drones, and they're all controlled. They're all controlled by one computer. Now, if you get all of these drones, say if you get, I don't know, 20 drones, and you connect them all together physically using, like say, scaffolding poles, connect them all into one big drone, all controlled by one computer, put a shell around the outside, as long as there's airflow going in, it will give it that stability it needs for them 20 drones to take off. And now the size of them, you would have been able to have gone, that's a bit strange. That looks a bit weird. And we've seen videos on social media where someone's turned a drone into a witch flying a broomstick.
Yeah.
So we know it can be done. It's just gone that next stage further.
And there has been some questionable videos from around the world, especially parts of America, where have you seen the one that looks like a wasp's nest in the sky and bits of it are on fire? Yeah. To me, I look at that and it's just like AI straight away. Instantly, it's AI. But I was reading the comments on various different media platforms, and a lot of them were saying drones. I don't think it's drones. I think it's AI in there, because we don't have the technology yet to do it like that. Like it's just had a hologram broadcast in the sky. But that's all. That's also another thing that's supposed to be coming. And again, this is down rabbit holes. There is a mention that Project Blue Beam has already started. So that's and it's not a lot of chatter about it, but there is low chatter saying that Project Blue Beam has started.
Could they be making way for a new pope? Because Pope Francis isn't all that well.
No, he's not. But you wouldn't have all these bollocks with drones and shit. They just do the white smoke when they've chosen one and stuff.
Yeah, but it could all be accumulating to something bigger.
What you mean, like a pope that's down the? I mean, I like Pope Francis because he actually called a spade and came out with all this stuff about aliens. Do you think that the new one will be briefed on our cousins from other planets?
Well, the thing is they're supposed to be voted by the cardinals, aren't they, in conclave?
They have a conclave, yeah.
So it's basically like a general election, isn't it? They all go in there and they go, well, I think he should be all right, so I'm voting for him. And then the winner comes out on top. He's the new pope. Smoke gets given out. But although this pope has been quite more open, could this next pope be more open than he was? Or would he be more restrictive?
It would be nice to have one that comes in and says, actually, let's have a look at the vaults. Let's open the vaults up and we'll have a proper look at what's down here. Because at the end of the day, we have to be open and honest with our brothers from, from the sky. So it would be nice. But I mean, like I say, all this going on, with NASA paying the papacy, was it 3 million? I can't remember what it was. It was 1 million or 3 million to turn around and train their people in basically saying, yes, we have our own gods, but we need to respect the gods and practices of alien beings and stuff like that, because they're going to have their own gods. Now, if this is all bollocks and there's no such things as aliens and this, that, and the other, has the government have been trying to persuade us for donkey's years, then why the fuck would NASA do that? Because NASA ain't going to do anything without the government going, yes, you can. So why?
Yeah.
That's all I'll say is why. If there's an out going on, why would you do that? And now, unfortunately, the Pope's ill. And as I say, I like the guy. So I'm sorry he's ill. I know there's going to be a lot of people out there, obviously religious people, that are going to be really upset if and when anything happens to him. But it's part of the circle of life. But is the next one going to be better than him, more open with stuff like that? Or is he going to just get everybody to close ranks and go, no? You know what, man? There's no such thing as aliens, huh?
I think it's because the traditional ways of the Catholic faith and the Vatican, I think, has been sort of so far behind the modern world. It needed a pope that would bring the religion forward into modern day, and it's slowly come forward, and it's slowly catching up.
Yeah.
And I think that is what has been wrong with Catholic faith in general, is they've been so behind.
It's very pompous.
Yeah, and not sort of gone with the flow of things. They're now becoming more acceptable. They're becoming more modern, and they're not as strict as they used to be. Also, they appear to be not as strict. Unless you're what?
Unless you're a choir boy. Ooh. Oh, Jesus, bend over there, you little shit.
But, yeah, I mean, obviously some places will still be strict, but that'll be when the message gets through. Then they might sort of realise.
I've just had a thought, right? Something's supposed to be coming this year, and there's supposed to be something massive in 2027. Do you think the thing coming this year, do you reckon it'll be the Bobbermans that turn around and actually finally fucking admit it instead of lying to us all like they do, or going, yes, they're real, no, they're not, yes, they're real, no, they're not, yes, they're only joking? Or do you reckon it'll be the papacy that turn around and go, actually, yeah? Do you reckon?
I would be tempted to say the papacy would be more likely to be the ones that say it than our own Bobbermans.
It needs somebody, something, I won't say power, but it needs somebody with that kick like the Pope's got to turn around and say, yes, definitively, yes. And then can't have the Bobbermans and stuff turning around and go, no, because otherwise they'll be calling them a liar.
I think there's only two people in Bobberments of the world that have got the balls to say it,
Trump.
and that is Trump and Putin.
Yeah. No, I actually agree with that. Yeah.
I think they're the only two people of power, apart from the likes of the Pope, if he wanted to. I think that Trump and Putin are the only people that would have the balls to stand there and go, look, we've got visiting beings.
The one we've got in power over here, he's a fucking lemon. He ain't going to do anything.
He ain't going to do jack shit. And the funny thing is, right, I've got to say this because it sort of dawned on me the other day, and I had a look into it. And I think it's hilarious. And this comes under a conspiracy theory because we were all talking about freedom of speech. And our wonderful PM turns around and says, oh, we've got a good history of freedom of speech. And I found something out. 400 people last year were arrested in Russia for saying things on social media and upsetting President Putin. Have a guess at how many people in the UK last year were arrested for doing the same thing?
Probably fucking thousands because it's gone stupid over here.
3,500 people were arrested last year for saying things on social media. And yet Russia only 400. What does that say?
I agree, like, don't have terrorism, anti-Semitism, all that sort of shit on there. Yeah, don't do that. But slating... And I'll say it, Keir Starmer's a fucking idiot. You are a wombat of the first degree. You've done fuck all for this country apart from rape it and take money and bribes and fucking presents and gifts for yourself, you little twat. Have people in charge that actually know what this country needs and do something about it. Because you, sir, are unfit for the job. Anyway, over here, you can't say anything about Bobberments or anything like that. Otherwise, you're going to get done for it.
Yeah. And
that's
yet
how much of a blanket this country's got.
And yet we have a wonderful history of freedom of speech, and yet 2,900 people more have been arrested compared to Russia.
It would be nice. It would be nice, and it's one of the main things of us here is UFOs, UAPs, conspiracy theories, cryptozoology, and we always have a rant about the bobblements of the world. And we say bobblements because if you say the full G word, we have actually been shut down before. We've had the chat stopped and everything because we were slating bobblements.
And the thing is as well, the whole idea of what's going on with the government does come under conspiracies.
Yeah.
Because it has been a long popular conspiracy theory that the bobblements of the world are being governed by another power.
Yeah, the black government and the black papacy and the black pope.
You see, so it all comes under conspiracy theories, which is right up our street.
It is, lad.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are wondering, all I'll say to you is look at the black papacy and look at the black pope. And no, by that, I do not mean a black guy stood up being the Pope. I actually mean the black Pope. They wear black and they do horrible dark deeds. Look it up. We might do a show on it one day. Yeah, we might do a show on it one day. But yeah, Keir Starmer, do you know one of his best friends was when he was the leading judge?
Someone
had big cigars, lots of gold.
Oh, yes. Had a house in Scotland that got mysteriously trashed.
Yeah. Jimmy Savile, who unfortunately, as we all know, liked everything, including the dead, far more than he should do. And Keir Starmer was mates with him. So, and all I'll say is I'll just leave that one there. He was mates with him, and a lot of things were covered up when he was one of the high judges. Lots of things were covered up, and I will not say any more on that because that could cause trouble. So you need to look that one up yourself. But just look down those lines. Anybody who's watching, you'll see what we mean. We are no longer legally protected as such in this country. We're not. They're quietly putting these laws that you can't have organised marches, you can't have peaceful sit-ins, you can't have this, you can't have that, you can't have the other, and we've got freedom of speech. My fucking arse, have we?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're not allowed to have all these marches and everything else, but when you look at London, they got a march for Palestine, march for Israel, and you're like, we want a march for St. George's Day. We get told to get stuffed.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we're basically being booted out of our own country. We're not allowed to celebrate our own traditional days, and yet they're allowed to do all that.
Yeah, that's been going on for a long time. See, I have no problem with equality for anybody. But when that equality is, say that's a seesaw, and you've got equality for everybody, and when it starts going that the natives and the residents of one country, I'm not only on about our country, any country, and when they start being tip, because the other people that live there are getting more and more rights.
Yeah.
We're the people of our rights.
And the thing is, it stops becoming equality when there's not a level playing field.
Yeah.
The whole idea of equality is it should be on a level plane. It should be flat. It shouldn't be tilted one way or the other.
But we've spoken about this at length before. The way I was brought up, by my late mum and dad, and that, I don't give a shit what sex you are. I don't give a shit what sexuality you are. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what race you are. What color you are. Nothing. If you're a nice person, that's all that matters, regardless of anything. That's all that should matter. But then when you get all these people pulling the race card or the LGBT fucking I'm a teapot card and shit like that, that is not fair. Because don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people in the LGBT society, and they don't like these ones that do that. I'm not a man, I'm not a woman, I'm this, that, and the other. They don't like those people. They don't like the pronoun shit, and they don't like the way that these guys say we should have rainbow flags and parades all year and this, that, and the other. What about straight pride? What about Church of England parade? What about a Roman Catholic parade? I mean, and I'm talking about in the UK, not in Italy. All this, that, and the other. We're not allowed to do that, but everybody else is allowed to do it.
When you look at it, you've got things like, and again, I'm the same as Mark. I am not against anybody's faith, religion, sex orientation, or whatever. I couldn't care
It
less.
seems like we are,
If
but
you're
we disagree with unfairness. That's all.
if you're a nice person, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But what I don't like is when it's thrown in your face.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't got a problem with it.
If it's all slap.
If somebody is attracted to somebody of the same sex as them, so obviously it makes them gay. Okay. What I don't like is when they stand there and they throw it in your face.
Well, wouldn't that have a balls hitting your mouth and stuff like that?
And they sort of, they all stand there and they flaunt it and they go, oh yeah, I'm happy being gay. Oh, this gay, the gay, this gay, that gay, this blah 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 blah. I'm like, look, I got the message. I know you're gay. I'm straight. You're gay. Brilliant. Good for you. Get on with your life. Stop parading it about like you've got something to say to the world because everybody knows you're gay. There's no need to keep broadcasting it. We don't care.
I understand it was repressed, and I understand they used to have their own speech and everything back, but this is like Victorian times, and it was only really the 60s when everything started to come out. So I get, it's still quite new for them, but now it's got to the point of it's out,
going over the top.
The fairness is outweighing, and before they were complaining anything gay, different religions, everything. They would complain that they were the minorities and they didn't have the same rights. Now they've got the same rights, and now they've got way more than we have, and the balance point has been tipped, and now we're losing more and more stuff, more and more rights, and they've got more and more and more. But as I say, I don't care what you are, but why should you? Right, here's one. Why should you have a parade where you can dress up in fuck all and jiggle about in front of kids? If we had straight pride and a straight person did that and wore literally just a bit of plastic around their bell end and then jiggled about in front of kids and gave out balloons to them, we would be arrested straight away and told we are fucking paedophiles.
Well, I will admit there is one thing.
What?
And it is known. You can look it up on internet.
I know what you're going to say. You could say this. I wasn't going to. You could do this. Go
on. No, the naked bike ride.
Oh, the one from Brighton. Yeah,
we've had it come through Colchester before, and they've gone down the high street with nothing on, and they're riding bikes.
Do you reckon
it's very bizarre to see because, like, I had to turn away because a lot of them were old people. Not a pretty sight, but there were a few youngsters there, but the majority were older people. And I'm like, no thanks. I'm going into Superdrug. See you later.
Do you reckon they get saddle sore? And if so, right, just bear with me on this. If they get saddle sore and they get sweaty, when they're cycling past, you hear lots of as they're cycling past, and I'm talking men and women.
I'd be worried if they broke wind.
I wouldn't like to be this guy behind. If you want to make it our cycle run, everybody's a sweaty mess, and somebody in front of you farts. You're going to get a load of sweaty mist.
Some grandma cycling behind.
Oh, I overthought that far too much and grossed myself out. But yeah, you're right.
But yeah, but what my point is, you get Gay Pride Month, a whole month of celebrations. And yet, St. George's Day gets 1 day. St. David's Day, 1 day.
I do feel you should have a straight pride thing. And the only reason I say that is in fairness, because everybody has all these things, all these festivals and this, that, and the other. Why can't a straight person why can't we have straight pride? I'm proud to be straight. I've got gay friends who are proud to be gay. We should have straight pride. It's only fair, and again, it'd bring the balance point up a little bit, and I'll tell you another thing. We were talking about discipline. We're having a very old school chat today. We were talking about discipline, lack of discipline in the forces and things like that. You look at all these people now, and these Generation Zs that get fucking offended because you've said the wrong thing. And at the end of the day, what you've got to remember is all these people that are getting offended and this, that, and the other. Well, so bloody what? It's just words. Lots of people, like different generations, will say things that are going to offend the younger generations because how we were brought up, we were a lot stronger. You didn't go mental because you've called somebody stupid or stuff like that. Oh, God, what?
That was the naked bike ride last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Can you imagine having your Uber Eats delivered like that? Meatballs?
Hello, you ordered plums?
Everybody should be able to celebrate whatever they want when they want. Yeah, exactly. I don't see why it should be what was minorities and now the majority, and what was the majority is now the minority. We should be back at the balance point with everything: religion, sex, sexuality, color. We shouldn't hate each other because.
But again, don't you think it's a typical situation that it's been throughout the centuries, thousands of years old?
Religion causes all of it.
One type of people have had the power over another type of people, and then there's a switch of power. That person has power over that person. Then it switches again a couple hundred years down the line.
Yeah,
and it keeps going and going and going. It's always going to be, no matter how you look at it, there's always going to be one type of person or type of people that will have power over the other. You're never going to get true equality simply because one will always have the power over another.
And there's always corruption in any major group.
Exactly. So equality, and we've said it in the paranormal field. A load of people say it. There's no such thing as para-unity, but equality is the same thing. There is going to be no true equality while people will still argue over who's better than the other.
And exactly as Wayne just said, in the paranormal world, and we know this ourselves, there are so many people out there who think they're above other people because they've had 5 seconds of fame, or they had a shitty TV program nobody watched, or blah 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 blah, or I'm better than you. It shouldn't be like that. At the end of the day, we do this because we love doing it. We're not doing it to try and be better than anybody else.
I mean, I just recently got it on like I go on to TikTok, and I just post silly things. I'm not interested in causing controversy or stand there and say, oh, I'm raising money for this so that I can help this, and then lie about it and spend the money on myself. Yeah. I disagree with all that. Now, I put my videos on TikTok because I enjoy doing these funny little sketches or something like that. Yesterday afternoon, I spent a good hour and 3/4 Mersey Island. It was high tide, and it was supposed to be a spring tide as well, so it was supposed to be exceptionally high. And I was with another guy that was filming people failing with their cars by driving through the seawater and just destroying their motors. And so me and my eldest two went over there, got ourselves absolutely soaking wet. Didn't wear no wellies or waders or anything. I just went in there, yeah, I don't care. And I went in, I loved every minute of it. It was excellent. It was an awesome time. But I did a live feed while I was over there. Not once did I ask for gifts. And yet people still sent gifts because they were enjoying the content. And yes, I had a gold thing up there, but I didn't stand there and say, oh, send me your gifts, send me a heart me, send me this, send me that. People sent them regardless. You know, they liked the feed, and that was all that mattered to me, was the fact that they liked what they saw. The content was funny because they could see me running over the road and back and getting wet. Chloe was running over the road and getting wet. And so that's what I was doing. I was targeting people so that they could have fun. They could enjoy what they were watching, like watching a normal TV show. And I wasn't asking them to pay for the privilege.
Keep your eyes peeled on this Saturday night, guys, because as Wayne said, we will all be together and we will be at an event, and we'll be hosting. Well, they'll be hosting an event, and I'll be leading a team round, and hopefully, I'll have some time to do a live on there. That's a powerful.
Yeah, we're going to
investigation.
Yes, we are going to be filming for Truth Beyond Paranormal as well. So we'll be doing some filming for Truth Beyond Paranormal. I will be doing a live feed through TikTok as well. So there's going to be loads of things going on, which is going to be pretty awesome. Plus 2 experiments that I myself and my team have never done before. And one of them is quite horrifying, to say the least. And I've already had one person say, there is no way you're getting me to do this. and that is the only other person that knows what I've got planned. Nobody knows. It's
Okay.
just me and Ellen. We're the only ones that know. It's pretty awesome. It's a pretty awesome experiment.
Well, we shall have to find out on Saturday. As I say, because we are coming to a close, I'm afraid. So back to UFOs and stuff next week. I thought it'd be nice to just have a bitch about stuff today, because we've been off for like 2 weeks, haven't we? Josh will be back.
Sorry, carry on. Carry on.
Josh will be back as and when he can. At the moment, he's up to here with his course, and he's got spring break and this, that, and the other. So he will be back as and when he can, and then when it eventually sorts itself out, he'll be back on regularly again. So we miss you, Josh. I hope you're doing well, and we're back on the show anytime. Yes.
Okay, Von, I probably won't be putting it on Facebook because I can only carry one device at a time, and TikTok at the moment is asking me to do various lives throughout the week, because it helps the viewers see the content I create. Whereas Facebook, they just you just go live and then that's it. And Facebook now are deleting videos after 30 days. And I don't want no part of that. So if I put a video on Facebook, I've then got to remove it and put it on YouTube or TikTok anyway. Because after 30 days it gets removed. Just like I'll show you will tonight. After 30 days it will disappear. So I'm probably just going to do TikTok itself. And if anybody that's either watching now or is going to watch throughout the week, there are tickets still available for this event. It's at Boston Sessions House in Boston, Lincolnshire. It's £20 per person. The ticket sales are done through Eventbrite, so I think it's something like £2.83 that Eventbrite charge on top of the ticket. So, but it is actually only £20 per ticket to come in on the event. It starts at 8 and finishes at 2 in the morning on the Saturday night. And then we also have an accommodation offer available if anybody wants to stay the night. There's a number that you can call, which will get you a discount on a room. And I think there's a choice of either something like 3 or 5 hotels that Smart Move Hotels actually run that you could stay with. And there is also a meal option, which is available on the Eventbrite ticket sale. And I'm sure the link to the event is in the post that I put in on the Darkmare Radio Show. It's in the Spookinori Events group and in Truth Beyond Paranormal group as well.
Should still be up there.
It should still be there. I did post it, but the link is in that post there to Eventbrite. So, and all the information is there for booking, and it should be a good night because the building itself was built in 1864 and has never been investigated by any paranormal team at all.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there.
Yeah. So we are the first people to actually investigate there. And if all goes well on Saturday night, we're going to be there on a regular basis.
And of course, you'll have the lovely us there.
Yes.
And the Mrs. Wayne and the Mrs. Mark. They will be there too. So if you want to come along and see us, or maybe even slap me on my head, don't. Come along and see us and say, hey, please feel free to do so. And I might do a live on Facebook, and then I might do one live on TikTok or some shit like that. I don't know. But yeah. So we're going to disappear because I've also got to have a quick word with young man here and then about stuff. And then I'm going to go to McDonald's because we haven't eaten yet. So thank you very much. I'm sorry we've been off for a couple of weeks. Young Mr. Josh is coming back. For those of you who can make it, come and see us on Saturday. Check out the event that it's on the Dark Mirror Radio Show's Facebook page. Wayne, if you'd like to repost it again, so it's back up there at the top again, that'd be good. And if you can make it, it'd be great to see you. So remember, keep your eyes to the skies. And remember, if you see anything, please email us at the Dark Mirror Radio Show at yahoo.co.uk. And we will be sure to mention it. Or you can also message just myself or Wayne or Josh on Facebook Messenger. So until next Monday, keep your eyes to the skies. We will see you later. Hopefully Wayne won't drop his guts on Saturday either. Make people think it's sulfur. And on that note, goodbye, matey.
Toodle pip.
See you later, guys. Now I've got to try and do this. How am I going to stop this bloody
Microwave.
Right. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you soon, and it's good to be back. Bye-bye.